And now moving on to some more questions, this time the questions being asked with regard to Iran. 1. Has the country really scrapped its morality police? 2. If that's true, what does it mean for millions of women living in Iran? Let's now try and answer these questions for you. So, has Iran really scrapped its morality police? The force has been a bone of contention between the regime and its people for more than 3 months now. It all began when a young Iranian woman died in the custody of the moral police. Her name was Mahsa Amini. She was all of 22 and her fault was that she wasn't wearing her hijab properly. They also said her jeans were too skinny. But who gets to decide that? In Iran, the morality police do. It is called the Gasht-e-Irshad, or Guidance Patrol. This department is part of the police force and it is closely linked with the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The morality police is the Praetorian Guard of the Mullah regime. It is like an internal security system. It ensures that the hijab is maintained and the country's morals remain Islamic. This police force has both men and women. They roam the streets of Iran, ensuring that women have covered themselves well. They are being chaperoned and are living with limited rights, and that men have adhered to the country's limited haircut options. In the past, the morality police has been dragging women to re-education centers, snatching them away from their families. So now we are back to our question. Has this deplorable force been disbanded? No one knows for sure. The news was sparked by one man, this one, Mohammad Jafar Montaseri. He is Iran's Attorney General. Montaseri was part of a meeting on Saturday where he said the morality police was quote-unquote abolished by the same authorities who installed it. But why was a public prosecutor picked to make this announcement, this big announcement? And what's he got to do with the moral police anyway? The force falls under Iran's Interior Ministry after all, which, by the way, remains tight-lipped on the matter. The government instead is busy crying foreign interference and sounding like a broken record. Tehran claims it's the US and its Western allies who are responsible for trying to stir the chaos in Iran.
It was very clear to us that the United States of America and a small number of Western countries are looking to exert pressure and encourage chaos and terrorism in Iran. We absolutely will not allow anyone to cause unrest and terrorism in our country.
Meanwhile, Iran's media is trying to play down the Attorney General's comments. One state TV channel said that the comments had been taken out of context, while another said the government is very much sticking to the mandatory hijab. So what is one to make of this confusion? Say the morality police has indeed been disbanded. Should it be read as a regime giving in to the demand of the protesters? Is the government making a concession? Will Iranian women now get away with not wearing long, loosely fitted clothes? Can they legally and finally take off their headscarves? In short, is this a victory for the protesters who have been on the streets for months now, sloganeering, singing and calling for a change? Yes and no. There are chances the regime is offering a carrot to send the protesters back home. It is hoping for momentary calm. Just look at the timing of this development. 2 days from now, Iran will be marking Student Day. The 7th of December in Iran is synonymous with high emotions. The day marks the killing of 3 university students by the Iranian police. And every year, the 7th of December is marked with protests, mostly among the student community. This year on the 7th of December, Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi is expected to visit Tehran University. He is expected to address the students. Quick reminder that students have been an integral part of the ongoing protests. We have seen Iranian schoolgirls remove their hijab and shout death to the dictator. Many were seen chasing away local representatives from their schools. Another video showed schoolgirls protesting against a speaker who was sent to address them. Now, Raisi does not want to meet the same fate at the Tehran University, which could be one of the reasons why the regime could be trying to relax the morality police. But the protesters couldn't care less. They have called for 3 days of protests to keep the pressure building. You see, while Iran is no stranger to protest, this time it's all very different. The current protests have brought together people across age groups and genders. Together, they have been calling for an end to the theocratic regime. The protests have spilled to the football fields of Qatar, where Iran's team has refused to sing the national anthem before its opening game at the FIFA World Cup. More than 400 people have died back home. Some 64 of them were minors. The anger in Iran is not limited to the morality police or the hijab. It is a protest for change. It's a revolution, and it looks like the people of Iran will not rest until they topple the status quo. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.